Hi, this is Just Saying, and better known as Cypress Golden Bronze. Yes, I have changed my name, and there's so many people say to me when I meet them in person, and I say, please call me Cypress, and I mess up and say Amber. Amber Kelly was my name that my mother gave me, and Kelly is the family name that my father had. And the life that I lived, I would not give it A+. Because it topped it off with my child, where I could not trust my own flesh and blood to say positive things around my child while I was gone or doing something. And today it turned out to be a very tragic thing, very tragic. And so it hurt so deeply much that I could not trust my own flesh and blood. My mother's sister, she was one of them. She's kicked it off. And then my father's sister, she's in Europe. And she's never been a really good aunt at all. Never. Because she's in Europe. She's big time. And that's what we got most of our life, that kind of attitude, and it wasn't good. Today, she came to the United States and did not contact me. And hung out with those friends of hers that talk about me a lot. And I don't think that people that talk about you are good people. So, Amber Kelly, I took it on a sheet of paper and I balled it up and I threw her away because I'm no longer Amber Kelly. My life experiences brought me to Cypress. Cypress, I got that name. People said, Cypress from Amber? Why would you do that? Well, I saw a picture of Harriet Tubman. I don't know where it is. I've been looking for it, but I saw it. And Harriet Tubman was standing behind some of the people that were in the front that were crossing over the water, through the water. They were going through the water, a family. And they were so tired. They had been trying to escape slavery. They had been through so much. I mean, their bodies were physically about to drop of just being tired, hungry, and everything. And picture a tree, let's say in the bayou. And I'm going to say this, Louisiana bayou, where the root of the cypress you can see coming out of the trees and it goes into the water. And the leaves bend over into the water. So those leaves were stress relievers to those people. It's like, oh, thank you. So they pulled themselves out of the water with the cypress leaves. The leaves from the cypress tree up to freedom. And that's where I got Cypress from. And then golden, of course, and bronze. You can figure that out. So Cypress is going to be my name, that I'm determined that when I leave here, that's what I'll be called, Cypress. I will not be called Amber Kelly. So that's for everybody to know that have known me for a long time. I really want to, my heart goes out to the gentleman at my North Division High School, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Blue Devils, passed away. I saw on Facebook, and anytime a Blue Devil leaves, I feel it. I feel it, because my high school years and North Division had to be unforgettable. Let's say that. Very unforgettable. My parents went there. All the whole family went there. Even my aunt that's over in Germany, the big shot, she went to North Division High School. So I just am thankful today to have met every last one of them in North Division. I really do. I keep up with everything that they do, even though I'm not able to be there to join them at the picnics and stuff. You just don't know how much I really want to be there. Lavelle is out here. I have lost contact of him again. So I'm going to have to do my seeking with Wilt. He's somewhere around here because he works for NBC. So I really want to find him so he could take me on a tour and maybe go to one of these Academy Awards or something. I don't know, but I love you, Blue Devils, North Division High School. Arlene Skorowski, that was my favorite teacher. She was my music teacher. And I just want to say that. Now, the real reason why I'm doing this webcam, and I guess you can guess, I just looked at News Now, and he spoke with one of those pastors that met with Donald Trump. Okay? And you guys should have seen that. All of you Christians that give these people any a dollar, that the community can't even go back, and actually the government should not be helping doing anything. Pastors, you should. You're collecting money and moving into these fancy houses, and they brought up a good point. They get salaries? Really? That stuff needs to stop. But every time people want to run for office, they go and get these stupid black pastors. And I said stupid, because this one they talked to in Atlanta, that's stupid. Whoever goes to that man's church, I really feel sorry for you. There is something wrong when you cannot see what these people are doing, what church has become. I don't mind saying that church used to be a place back in the older days. Maybe my grandparents was a good thing out of slavery when we first were working on plantations or something, and then we go to church on Sunday. The church actually put together, black people now, may I add, put money together. If a little boy needed pants for a job, he can go to the church. If someone didn't have enough money for, and my grandparents went to college, and their parents were slaves. They went to college, so I had to hear the story about how they went through school and everything, and it was hard for black people. But if they needed the money, they go to the church, and the church will provide that for them. And my grandfather, I don't know if he was honest, we were in a pastoral home, but he was scared to get a carpet. And I'll never forget that, because he says, you know, the church might assume. And he rode a Ford, a green Ford. And he says, well, you know, we don't want the church to. Everything was the damn church. And I said to myself, my God, who would do this? So do you think in a spiritual sense? No, I'm looking at your fool being a fool. But these churches are way out of order. I swear, they are. They need to tax them. The government needs to start taxing them. If they're not going to give the money to the people, to the community that is in need. We had all these parents that are losing their children out here with police brutality. That was a place to start. And they had one of the little boys that died at a restaurant, and the man shot him up. I can't think of Jordan, I believe his name is. And they had, his mother has a nice organization that's going that, let's say, your president, wife could have took place and helped organize. She didn't do nothing. Nothing. These people, I will never do that again. I will never do that again. I don't like being a fool. I can't stand that. I don't run with the crowd. Oh, Obama. Or for what? Do you know for what you're Obama? Do you know what reason? You know what reason? You look at Miss Obama, oh, she's pretty, she's smart. What else? Was she a good first lady? Is the question. No, absolutely not. She was real bad. She did nothing. So Miss Jordan has come up with a organization, and so did Trayvon Martin's mother. So the mothers of the children that these police are killing and murdering are coming together and with different organizations where they can support one another. So they did it. This is Obama didn't have to do it. They did it on their own. I applaud them for that. You don't need them. They didn't do nothing. I swear for living God. Out of all these trying times, when that man was in office, all these kids dying for no, just people are murdering them. The police, and you did nothing? That's so, but these pastors, this pastor, and Roland asked him, what policies? What did he say about this? What did he say about that? Since your meeting lasts 2 hours. Your meeting lasts 2 hours. That's a long time. That makes it look like, oh, we really talked, we really bonded, you know, and everything. And it didn't turn out to be that way. That pastor could not name one policy. And he kept blaming it on black people. We should do it on our own. Not him, not the government. We shouldn't be asking the government. We need to do that on our own. This is what your pastors, those people that you're giving all that money to, and that cutie pie from California, the real light skinned one with the good hair, he was dead up in it. He could never make any of his shows that he did, but he made it to this one. And I believe Trump, I think some of these people paid these pastors. Because to me, these pastors are beginning to look to me spiritually like prostitutes and people that's shuffling out in the street. Because everything is money to them, even to TJ Jakes. He's always looking for a movie or some way to make some money. Being spiritual, helping people, and being there for people is just not the forefront. And people in these churches need to see that. So they go into that Christian religion. I'm telling you, that is, I looked at News Now and I said, oh, I'm so glad that I am not in that or a part of that. And listening to people that are asking for my money. And if I get in trouble, need some rent, or I need a place to sleep, and hungry, and I have been in those places. You could never go to any of these black churches and get help. All of these, West Angeles, all of those churches, the West Angeles sends you through, all of them do, they send you through a channel if you need something, even food. And you have to go and ask them, if you need $400 or $500 for your rent, that church could give you that money. That church could. So the church really should be taking care of a lot of things that they're asking the government for. Well, I'm so sorry that I'm so sorry sometimes that my people are like that. I'm so sorry. It's like we're blind. So Roland said, well, you need to, before you go to the next meeting, write up some of the things that you want to know and the policies. If he doesn't answer any questions about the policies, then what good is he? But he knew those black pastors would be dumb enough to not care and talk that, well, the Spirit has said to me. The Spirit ain't said nothing to you. And if the Spirit did, I need some money and some help. Give it to me. I got a friend that's a great musician that's needing some money. I have to call him today. But why can't he go to the church and get it? That's what that money is for. It's not to pay salaries for these people who live in mansions. It's for the community. It's for the people in the church. And so these pastors need to get together and get some answers for even the people that are paying their damn salaries. That's pitiful. But guess what? Cyprus will never be a part of that. Ever again. I'm so glad to be away from it. Oh, Lord. I'm so glad that I've set free of myself of that church. I really am. Because it is, and I hope they start taxing them. Take some of that money. And then the government will do whatever they want to do with it. Why don't you help people? Help hungry children. My girlfriend had 3 children. And she was running around from house to house. She had no place to stay. And her oldest daughter ran with me, and her shoes were so tattered I gave her some shoes and some clothes, and I ain't even got nothing. I don't really. I don't have nothing. But she goes to this African church. She goes to this church, and I'm like, did you go to the church and see if they have some nice shoes for her? She's at that age, 12 and 13. She should be wearing tattered shoes. That really? Can you do that? No, obviously. Somebody else helped her get a place to live. So, I am not happy at all, a happy camper with the pastors meeting up with people. And in the future, I will look at News Now and the rest of it. I'm turning it off, just like I do Obama. I don't pay attention or even entertain things that don't concern me. And that does not concern me. Remember the article, the one of my webcams where I said, and I titled it, I love chocolate men. I love them chocolate. That's my nature. The minute I said that, the next day, I went out, and I think I was on my way to the federal building, and because I'm doing some legal work, so I look at police every day, and then I might be volunteering to help other people. See, I do other things than sing. Trust me, and I'm smart. I have a man that's in my building that has called me names. He tried to get sex from me when I first moved here. That was a bad time because I could have killed him. Yeah, I would. Don't. Cypress will take you to the bank. She don't turn the other cheek, okay? And he's the things that he says calls me lesbian. He went over to the because I'm not giving him sex. He wants to have sex in my building and go back and forth and have sex. When he asked me that, I looked at him and I thought that is the nastiest, the rudest thing that anybody could ever say to me. And it was very insulting. But through the years, because I didn't ever give him sex, this man he's standing at my door, listening at my door, and he works with the landlord, I believe, one of the managers, and they use him to intimidate people. So he tells me, I'm the sergeant, and I don't care if you got defamation, I don't care what you got on me. And I thought to myself, does he know who he's messing with? I don't think so. But I've already begun to pile stuff, and really I want to put his ass up under the jail. I want him to suffer for everything that he's said or did to me. He's black, of course. Because I haven't heard a lot of nice things from black men, ever. They always call you a certain name, dumb, crazy, just very cruel, not giving you anything. And then this guy he was giving me things, right? He gave me an old torn up desk. Everything is torn up, right? I thought you ain't gave me nothing but that junk that I could throw out and get me something else. I could buy myself something else, in which I'm planning to do that. But I never had sex with him. I want to add that. That man turned me off day one. And to me, his mind and his heart is the filthiest I've ever known. But I heard him out in the hall saying, God bless. and those little kids out here don't know that man ain't got a God bone in his body. But I gave it to my ancestors. I gave it to my grandfather and I gave it to my brother. Especially my brother. So that stops me from reacting. Plus, I'm very dangerous when it comes to surveillance. Everybody knows that. I've even been offered to go to a technical school to study because I hang out at Fry's and Sammy's for cameras, and I know cameras that you don't even know it's a camera. I'm going to tape everything that man says to me. and it's called documentation. On my webcam, when I set it, I have to put a webcam at my door to catch him at my door. And I'm going to do it. He didn't care, did he? But he should care, because I don't even stop until I get what I want. All women out there, you can call me surveillance. I'm one of the best. I can hook up every camera, every audio, and people don't even know they're walking into a stage. And you could do a lot of things with people with documentation. Lot. But he's an evil black man. Now, I want to tell you, I started off to tell you that I said that I only like chocolate men. But yesterday, I met a human being that just the moment that, and we had lunch together, because we were in that, and we had lunch. We were in, I was close to the Federal Building, one of the restaurants. And we sat down and I talked to him. And my emotions were even not together, because I've been called crazy, I've been called lesbian, I've been called names, hollered and scream. I got to put webcams by my doors and stuff to keep people out of my place. It's illegal, and it will be handled. Don't you worry. It will. But for some man that wanted to have sex with me, very intimidating by the black man. You say this, my sisters. Are you afraid to talk in front of your black friends, black guy friends, in fear of being snapped at or whatever? Well, I had a conversation with this man, and I also said in this webcam that white men have a smell. I did like that. I just did it because I'm for real. That's what these webcams are for. This is not TV1, okay, where you have to do practices, roll it again. This is true. This man that I talked to smells so good. I mean, he was fresh. He had black hair, and he had beautiful eyes, and he was tall. He was tall. And we sat down and had lunch. But the conversation is what freaked me out. When I left him, I was so at peace. I was so at peace. I had just met an angel. And guess what? He wasn't black. He was white. And it kept happening all through the day. That I just looked at some white guys and I was like, I like being with them. I like being talked to correctly. I like feeling comfortable, not upset and all the time, and really just not being appreciated as a woman. And looked at, you know what that white dude did not do? And I said, white dude, I'm doing the black thing. You know what he did not do that some of these nasty, that piece of crap that's in my building, you know what he did not do? He never asked me for sex. Or your legs. So he might have looked at my body and admired it, but I didn't know it. This is what I want in a relationship. I said, okay, there may be some changes there too. So from that old name I have to Cypress, and then to what my interest may be in dating, because I don't want to go back there anymore. I refuse. I don't want any men around me criticizing me, calling me names. I hate to be called crazy. I hate that. I might go get somebody downtown and pay them to jack you. Cypress does not play. I'm telling you, I simply do not like insulting men. And I don't like men to always be hounding me for sex. I don't like that. I never did. I misused my body so long, and I let these men use me and never treat me like a lady. Never. And then my emotions got to be on tilt because of what you might say to me that's harmful. Now people say white guys will do that. I don't know. All three of them that I ran into, that I'm going out with him to dinner on Hollywood and Vine, all of them never asked me for sex. And I felt comfortable talking to them. And when they left me, I felt like an angel just left. That they're giving me something that I've never had. Peace. From a man. And they're white. That's sad. Can't get it from... And I'm too old to give you another chance. And I'm fighting somebody right now. And it's a shame, because when you do surveillance, it's a lot of work. When you set those cameras up, you got to look at that stuff. You got to break it down. When you set your camera, you have to set it so that there's something marked on the other side. I have my camera set to see the apartment number. So when I run it, they can say, oh, this is her apartment, because that apartment is right across. Yeah, it hasn't been edited. It hasn't nothing. She didn't make this up. This is for real. What was you doing at her door? Like that. Yeah. Stuff I've always had to fight the brothers. Always. I was, my son's father just did the worst thing that you could ever do. Is turn my child against me. Just an evil man. Evil. And then go to church talking about devils. You just have to wake up, black men, because we're leaving you too. Bam. Okay, Roland Martin. The pastors meeting up with Trump. I don't care anymore. I really don't. They've been doing that forever. They grab those old dummies every time they need to do something. Anybody need to do something, to go and get all them damn pastors that ain't worth 2 cents. You know, they're not doing anything honoring their congregation, and very disrespecting. When I give you $10 and you take my $10 and buy your couch or pay your salary for doing nothing, because I can do the spirit, okay, and give you my money. I'm not giving you my money, and I can't come back and ask you if I need rent to pay. Some people have children and they need a place to stay. They cannot. It shouldn't be a lot of that now with all these damn churches. It really shouldn't. Think about it. Get up off your butts and do something resourceful instead of going to the mountains and what else do these. That's why I don't do the spiritual thing in California at all. Bing. So, wow, I gotta go. This is too long. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm gonna have a wonderful day. I gotta make a run today. One run. Because I did something that was really stupid. I mailed off a document that I needed. So I gotta go and see if I can get another copy. I'm always trying to get things together for me, because I'm here in the city by myself. And partly sick, you know. I wanted to show you guys my new body that's down here. I lost 37 pounds, and it wasn't from trying either. I have a overactive thyroid that causes me to lose weight. And I said yes, and they gave me some medicine for it. Guess where the medicine at? In the medicine cabinet. I ain't took it yet because I want to lose weight. Here in Hollywood, they inject that to motivate the thyroid so that you can lose weight. So I saw another thing real briefly. I saw Unsung on Angela Bofield, and then my friend was on there, Phyllis Hyman. I started to cry because there isn't music like that anymore. It's gone. There isn't even music. They don't even have live music. And singing, everybody's singing, and they use those the voices and stuff in the studio and fix it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost like Beyonce. I'm going to use her as an example. That song, oh, that one, it's a nice song and it's real catchy, but that girl is a good singer. I want to hear her sing all the time. You know, I don't too much care for it. If you take a dog into their studios, the music that they're doing now, and the dog goes roof, 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 right? They can take that roof, 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 and they'll make a sound. They can create the sound with the board. That's what we used to use the board to sing, to pan our voices and stuff. Now they're doing some other crap, and it's not even music. It's not. I don't even listen to music anymore, and that's amazing. I never thought I'd be like that. I'm doing surveillance cameras in my home. I could lay you out, and nobody will mess with your kids. I bet you. I'll lay you out with surveillance. So I love cameras. Fanatic about them. I just want to know how they work, actually. So that's what I did, and that's how I got to Fry's. And when I step into Fry's, they'll say, okay, we got this. We know what you want. I got this new camera that you might be interested in. And I like cameras that are little dots, like a ball that you can set on the table, and it's recording everything. A boss that may be abusing you, or like this guy in the building abusing me. I can just, things that he least expect. They see this camera, but the things that you least expect to be a camera or audio, I bought those things last year, and I'm going to get some more. And then you get extensions. You get your extensions that match each other, and then you can spread it all over your house, and nobody knows it's there. And then in the meantime, you can go to court and get fat. If the building is doing something to you, in the end, you'll own it. That's good. For jobs. Surveillance can create jobs. That's what they were talking on news now, child. We are messed up. We are messed up people. God, we gotta work at it. That's what I try to do every day. On Little Cypress, I try to do my part. And that's it, you know. So everybody have a good time. I finally did a black and white for these webcams. I always use effects. I like that, to try to make it more exciting, but here we go. So I'm opening the door of possibilities of other men. I looked at News Now, the pastors. Don't look at that. That's sickening. That should tell you about you, whether Christianity is real or not, and it is not. You got to find out where that Christianity came from. I wonder what they, in Montessori school, for preachers, what do they teach them about Christianity and where it comes from? That's a good question. I would like to talk to somebody about that, because I'm curious. I want to know. Because Christianity has nothing to do with black people at all. Africa, full of that darn Christianity. And I'm so upset about that, because I don't want to go there and people doing that and talking that all the time. If people can respect your religious beliefs, your spirituality, I don't care what you do. That's your business. And I have no right to do that. But I also have rights. And I don't want to hear that all the time. Christianity, you need to check it out. And let me see, what else did I talk about? Angela Bofield and Phyllis Hyman. I didn't finish it, did I? Angela Bofield was, I'm on your side, and whoo, she was the bomb. She had a stroke, a couple of strokes, and that stopped her. And I remember her being phenomenal, because I was a singer back then. I had hopes and dreams. And Phyllis Hyman was my favorite. And actually, I'm going to tell you, there was no good singer better than Phyllis Hyman. But she had it out with Clive Davis, and Boom. You know who came in next? Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston is a good singer, but Whitney Houston was destructive. She was very destructive, and I don't know whether her legacy is going to show that those drugs that she could never ever get off of. I don't know. But Phyllis Hyman would have been better. Phyllis was diagnosed as bipolar disorder. She killed herself. So those were two singers and it took me back. And music will never be the same again. Never. So, blessings. Ha! I said blessings. And everybody have a wonderful time. Keep a smile on your face so somebody can feel warm just seeing you come through the door. Somebody told me that at the federal building, and he was a police. Cop, or whatever you people call them. He says, you know, every time I see you, every time you come here, you're smiling. I walk around with a smile on my face all the time. All the time. I make friends. It scares people sometimes, especially here in California. And one man told me that yesterday. He says, wow, you're such a nice person. We don't meet people like you. Everybody don't want to speak to people. California is a dog place. This place is, oh, damn. I don't know what happened with the spirit, but it left me when it came to LA. People think I should want to be here because I was an artist most of my life. No, I like good people, and California is not the place. But they said, you always, every time I see you, you got a big old smile on your face. What are you smiling for? And I said, I didn't know I was smiling. He says, I believe you. Every time. And it's been about 7 weeks I've been going back and forth there, you know, to talk to attorneys and stuff like that. And that was good to hear. Yeah. And my other new friends were Indian. They were Indian. I don't just talk to black people. I talk to all people. I want to talk to them because I want a connection with people. I don't want to walk around mean. It's not going to do any good. And smiling, it helps me. I feel good when I walk in there. I walk in places like, or get on the train like this. Like everybody, I'm here. I do that all the time. That might help. In other words, don't be sad. But do this. If somebody hits you in your right cheek, as what this Minister King used to say, turn the other cheek. If he hits you in the right, ball up your fist, hit him. Never turn the other cheek. Never. Fight. Fight for what you believe in. Black Lives Matter. Thinking about you. Take care, everybody. And remember, all men are good. Believe me, I'm going on a date tonight. It's great. And he's not black. And I really like him. We have things in common. I am so happy for the spirit and transition and change. I'm so happy for it. Because I would still be in the same place where that black man has got me putting cameras all over and everything, and being talked to like a dog, and being lied to, telling my kid I hate him and all that kind of stuff, turning my kid against me. I'm tired of that. I want to be treated nice. And I want to be with an angel. And anybody. Color doesn't matter. Love you. Take care. Have a good day. Ashe.